There are angels that walk amongst us. I was an open and out gay boy by the time I was 13 years of age. Living in Los Angeles, California in the 80s provided me with a freer society than other parts of the United States to be who God intended me to be. However, it was never easy. In junior high, the bullying was a daily event. Food thrown at me, milk poured down my back, being beaten up on a semi-weekly basis. My parents were divorced. I was in the adult world as my father raised me like a roommate. I was introduced to nightclubs with a fake ID and began to escape the pain with self-expression of makeup and clothes as a little new wave phenomenon. At times with my father on school nights, I was out at the Troubadour on Santa Monica Boulevard, the Roxy on Sunset, or the Whiskey A Go-Go. It wasn't long before I began to go out on my own to clubs and bars in West Hollywood in defiance of the bully. Being determined to live with a vengeance and scream, "I am who I am," to the world. The level of my self-expression added fuel to the fire of my extremely difficult experience in school. Trying to make grades while coping with the anxiety of daily violence and physical abuse was overwhelming. I began to pray high school would change things. It did. I spoke of Fairfax High School in Melrose in West Hollywood immediately, as I was already taking the bus and hanging out on Melrose. I had a sense of the fact being gay in West Hollywood was not an issue. My therapist was quick to inform my father and myself that in New York City there existed the Harvey Milk High School, and in West Hollywood at Fairfax High there was Project 10. This was an in-school program to counsel LGBTQ students with a zero tolerance for bullying and violence. I was there in less than a week at the ripe old age of 14. Glendale was only 17 miles from Fairfax High School, but with the only transport being LA City Transit buses, the commute was huge. It took 2.5 hours in the morning to get to school and up to 3 hours to return home. I was 2 years from being eligible for a driver's license. That's how bad I wanted peace and a chance. Miss Uribe offered me unconditional love and support. She embraced me into Project 10, and our lives at Fairfax were heavily interwoven. I began to be her teacher's assistant, and that was an experience in of itself. She asked me to join her in being the face of Project 10 for the news and the media. My makeup began to calm down, my clothes turned into the uniform Southern California surfwear and sweats. The safety I began to experience with Project 10 and Miss Uribe began to build my foundation and establish my equilibrium. We flew to Washington, D.C. and filmed one of the first news shows for 48 hours. There was an MTV commercial we filmed. Miss Uribe and I were on all local Los Angeles news stations presenting Project 10 and its critical importance. There were so many newspaper and television spots that I have lost count. I shared my experience and feelings and the urgency of what was needed to all youth. At that time, it was also about saving lives, as AIDS was sweeping through the gay community, destroying everyone out in its path. I was given the greatest chance at life and a future. I went from failing in school and the prospects being bleak at best for my adulthood to being asked to speak at my Fairfax High School graduation. There was a boy who spoke of coming from South Africa in the time of apartheid with his experience. There was another boy from North Korea who spoke of being given a new opportunity. At the Greek Theater in Los Angeles, California, I joined those voices with my own experience, strength, and hope in completing my high school education. My words came from humble and pure gratitude. Miss Uribe handed me the life vest when the ship was sinking. There are angels that walk amongst us. For myself, my firm belief, through divine intervention, an angel radiated through Miss Uribe.